Welcome to Understanding China 1700 to 2000, a data analytic approach, Part 2, Section 4, New Data and Eurasian Comparisons. Many of the new findings they will present in Part 2 are products of the Eurasian Population and Family History Project, which we call the EAP, an important 2-decade-long effort to compare analyses of big historical data in 5 sets of populations from eastern Belgium, northeast China, northern Italy, northeastern Japan, and southern Sweden. The EAP compares patterns of demographic responses during hard times and maps patterns of differences within regions, communities, and households to illuminate effects of social and family organization on the demographic responses to hard times. We contrast the importance of power, location within family and other political hierarchies, and property, location within community, occupational, and wealth hierarchies in structuring patterns of inequality reflected in demographic responses. So in that sense, the EAP in Part 2 overlaps with a discussion of inequality and opportunity in Part 1. The model in the EAP is to construct comparable individual big panel data for complete rural communities from population registers, in this case from 5 very different Eurasian contexts, to link these population records to economic time series and food prices and real wages, and then to estimate through complicated mathematical models nearly identical what are called event history calculations, and to examine how community and family context condition individual demographic responses to economic change, and comparing the results, focusing on the patterns of effects of short-term economic and other stress. In this map, you see the location of the 5 sets of populations from largely northwestern Europe and largely northeast Asia in Japan and northeast China. In this chart, you see the totality of the 5 big population data sets, which in our study of mortality covers roughly 2 centuries, 1716 to 1912, analyzes almost 850,000 person years and almost 19,000 deaths. In the study of reproduction, contrasts married woman years of 187,000, 24,000 births, and in marriage and remarriage looks at a population of never married people of almost 1 million, and looks at studies almost 50,000 first marriages as well as 5,000 remarriages. Now, unlike studies which are based on aggregate statistics, which say are typically found in the Li and Wang 1999, the strengths of the EAP are, first, the scale, multiple populations over very different regions with a large number of records. Second, the luminosity, using this individual big data to construct individual level statistical models rather than simply averaging these large populations. To make these data into panels, that is to say, to link these data over time so you can see how past events condition present-day behavior, or how present-day context influences future behavior, and to do this within a setting where you have complete or near complete recording of specific communities. So you can see this with a full sort of background of the community within which these individuals are embedded. This harmonized microdata is then analyzed within the framework of macro theory to compare patterns of differentials by community and family context, to seek commonalities suggestive of universal principles of behavior, and to identify differences linked to continental, regional, or local social and economic context. And to embed, in other words, these comparative results in the local differences, and thus to describe and explain complexity and to provide a basis for the interpretation of differences in our understanding of who we are. The AAP is composed of 5 research teams, which are the principal membership of which are identified here, from southern Sweden, from eastern Belgium, from central Italy, from northeastern Japan, and from northeastern China. And as you can see, from our first meeting in 1994 to a later meeting in 2007, if I can find a photograph, even later meetings in 2014, you can see the aging and the changing composition of the AP group. I'm identified in the second row on the left in the 1994 photograph, and the second in the front in the 2007 photograph. Cameron Campbell is second from the right in 1994, and the first on the left in 2007. This group, in addition to 5 edited volumes, has produced 3 co-authored, not edited, but co-authored books working together. One on mortality, Life Under Pressure, published in 2004. One on reproduction, Prudence and Pressure, published in 2010. And one on marriage, Similarity and Difference, just published late last year in 2014.